A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Thursday, June 8th. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. More than 200 union electricians from the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 363, lined Route 17K in the town of Newburgh on Wednesday afternoon to rally against a warehouse project that's been awarded an electrical contract to a non-union out-of-the-area company. The union members held signs that read, "Local jobs gone, local wages undetermined, and we live here, you don't," as drivers who passed the rally honked their horns in support. Sam Fratto, the business manager of IBEW Local 363, organized the rally.
We're nervous about them undermining the local wages of the residents here. So that's what we're doing here is we try to make a connection on this project. Nobody wants to talk because they already gave the work away to an out-of-town person, so nobody local can bid it.
Fratto says CMC, the general contractor, would not accept bids from local electrical companies. As the smog from the Canadian wildfires continues to hover over the Mid-Hudson Valley, individuals with any kind of respiratory issues should be careful not to aggravate their conditions. That can be accomplished by staying indoors whenever possible, running an air conditioner, and if you go outside, wear a mask. Dr. Ray Basri of the town of Wallkill, a firefighter for 36 years, says going outdoors in these conditions is similar to what firefighters experience after a structural fire.
There's a process of going through an overhaul for the structure fire to identify any hot spots that remain. And what we found out over the years is that that's actually the most dangerous time for firefighters is when they take off their self-contained breathing apparatus for overhaul function. That's when the highest concentration of irritants and pollutants get into their lungs.
Air quality in our area is expected to gradually improve today into tomorrow. Newburgh School Superintendent Dr. Jacqueline Manning Campbell's $30,000 pay raise was approved during Tuesday night's Marathon School Board meeting. That brings her salary up to $300,000 a year effective January 1st of 2024. She will also receive cost of living increases, or 3%, whichever is greater, plus an appropriate increase for facilitation of annual Board of Education goals. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
The New York City Water Board has proposed a more than 6.7% rate increase in the price of pre-treated raw water sold to upstate municipalities from reservoirs in the region. The New York City Department of Environmental Protection operates the massive system that brings water from reservoirs in the Catskills and Westchester to the Big Apple. Among the way, local municipalities may tap into the aqueduct system and pay for the water they use. State Senator Michelle Hinchy called the local communities the custodians of the New York City watershed and subjecting them to a price increase which outpaces that of New York City customers and ignores the historic period of inflation can only be described as unjust and inequitable, says Hinchy. The Newburgh City Council has established zoning changes in the Code of Ordinances pertaining to the use, sale, and manufacture of cannabis products. Mayor Torrance Harvey says the rules deal with zoning and land use for legal consumption of cannabis for persons over the age of 21.
It's very similar to exactly where, what those zoning laws are for alcohol consumption. So it's very parallel to that. In terms of the parks, we have a no smoke, a smoke-free zone in parks, in our public parks, you're not really supposed to smoke cigarettes, and definitely wouldn't be able to legally do that with cannabis.
The mayor says at this point there have been no applications filed to sell or manufacture cannabis products in the city of Newburgh. A Newburgh man was charged with assault early yesterday following a domestic incident on Kenwood Drive in the town of New Windsor. Police officers arrived at about 2:20 in the morning. They found several people in the parking lot attempting to leave. 2 people were injured and bleeding. A 34-year-old woman had several puncture wounds to her back and ribs, and a 44-year-old man, later identified as John Moody of Newburgh, had a superficial puncture wound to his abdomen. The woman was taken to the hospital for treatment and released. Moody was treated by personnel but refused further treatment. Investigation at the scene and the hospital by New Windsor police developed probable cause to believe the 2 individuals became engaged in a violent encounter that escalated to the woman getting a knife, which caused the man's injury. Moody was able to get a hold of the knife and repeatedly stabbed the woman, causing her injuries. Police arrested Moody and charged him with assault, criminal possession of a weapon, criminal contempt, criminal obstruction of breathing or blood circulation, and 3 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. He was remanded to the Orange County Jail pending a further court appearance. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.